Hello, my name is Connie Liu. I'm an undergraduate at MIT, and today we're going to be talking about the origin of species. So, the essence of the theory of the origin of species is rooted in the thought that life has unity. So, basically, unity in life. And this is a common theme of the species all originating from the same place. So the theory behind this is that there's what happens through evolution is descent with modification. So we all descend from some past form. So I've descended from my parents, you've descended from yours, but what happens in the long term is that descent with modification causes changes and sometimes arises in new species. And this is a modification they're talking about. Evolution diverges, so then some species become, say, horses, and some become elephants, but they may have rooted from the same common ancestor. So this is what descent with modification looks like. And then the root of that is that life has this unity of being from the same place. So we were all protobionts at some point, and then we're evolved into the human beings that are very complex that we have right now. Darwin was actually the one who wrote about the origin of species first. He actually wrote about this in 1858, and his book was called On the Origin of Species. So this was a very groundbreaking book. He wrote a lot about his observations about differences in species that he saw in the Galapagos Islands, and then he was able to write about evolution without ever using the word evolution in his whole book. So this was very admirable that he could have such groundbreaking observations even way before evolution was ever proven. So Darwin was a really cool guy, and you guys should all read more about him. But he came up with the ideas of species adapting to their environment, and a lot of very common phrases like survival of the fittest and natural selection were all from Darwin. He had all these theories about why these species were all different. He was looking at finches a lot, so they all had different beaks, why they had different beaks, and why it was favorable to for them to have that in the environment they were living in. And he saw a very strong correlation between the environment and the behaviors of the animals and the types of traits they had. So this was a very important discovery that bolstered the idea that there is such thing as evolution, and that the origin of species is all from some common ancestor, and we are just growing into a way that adapts to our environment that we end up growing up in.